From the News Channel 5 Network, this is OpenLine.
And good evening, everyone. Rory Johnston sitting in the OpenLine chair on a Thursday night. And tonight is Ask the Expert night, as most of you regular viewers know. And tonight we are asking the attorney. And our good friend, Kevin Kennedy from the Kennedy Law Firm, drove all the way down from Clarksville.
Good to be with you,
Good to be back with you. I should mention my good friend Amy Rao, who has been hosting Ask the Attorneys for us, just has this week off, enjoying a nice evening off. So I'm glad to fill in tonight and take your questions. Folks, you know the routine, 737+, we open up the phone lines. A really great opportunity for you to get your legal questions answered, or at least get you started on the right path. Which is so important.
Get started in the right direction.
And really, if you know Kevin, he covers all sorts of legal topics, and he is the right guy to call right now at 737+. And Kevin, just today...
Come on.
Just today, we've learned that this is a great honor, though, because there's a lot of competition in your line of work, and of course, it's friendly competition. I know you know a lot of your colleagues, but there's a vote up in Clarksville where people get to vote on their favorite attorneys and favorite law firm.
Yes, and just before we got here, we were at the big reception at the Clarksville Country Club, and I won, and this was the 4th year, and I said all this publicity comes through Channel 5. Must be working out there. But, it is such an honor because so many of these other lawyers, they are absolutely brilliant and fascinating legal minds can analyze. And so it's an honor. When I look back over my career, I like to think, did you really make a difference? And that's why this show is so wonderful, because we get to share our knowledge and help a lot of people that say, well, I'd love to know this, but I just didn't have the opportunity to get to talk to a lawyer. And the public service is a wonderful aspect, and the community service, and I want to compliment you. Nashville is a better place because you passed through here, and I appreciate all the work from Kristen to Amy that you've done. And so tonight's really a night of reflection and compliments to you, sir.
Well, and we're celebrating over on the main channel a really great month of May, which was a big ratings period for us.
Yes,
we're number one.
Come on,
again. We thank our viewers for that, and I know it's a team effort, and I know it's a team effort for you. You've got a great team of folks.
Well, when I look back at the Kennedy Law Firm over the years, we have spent enormous time and resources and energy to put together that team. And so I told someone today, and they used to say, well, the Kennedy name is so powerful. And I said, well, it was given to me, and I tried to share it with you. And so we've got a great team, people that I can lean on. And if you say, golly, we got to face some terrible things tomorrow, well, I feel good when we march together. I do tonight.
And obviously, to get a job at your firm, I bet it goes through some you want to hire the very best.
We do. We do. We make it a top priority. And as the firm goes up in reputation, we attract the very best. And so it's not uncommon when they come in and say, well, where are you in your class? Well, we're at the top of our class. And then, the youngest, the brightest. And Clarksville is a booming town.
Sure is.
We have a $42 million courts complex, one of the most sophisticated in the whole state, where you go and you have your eye scan where, they used to say, well, that's Star Trek. And I said, no, that's reality. And so we have been able to attract the brightest and the best, and it's good.
Yeah, we got a number of people calling. Hang in there for just a second. We'll start your calls. I just wanted to ask something before we begin. What is it about, why do you think so many people hesitate and they're intimidated? Once you finally pick up that phone and you contact an attorney for whatever your need is, you generally find, hey, that wasn't as bad as I thought. But how do you
over the years, everyone puts this lawyers on a plateau. Academically, they are, but just traditionally, everyone says, it's the ivory tower. And even now, sometimes we go to the Supreme Court, it's just like the ivory tower. So those are generational mind thought. But today is a new day where the internet makes someone so educated and you can learn so much. So I think the intimidation and the walls are breaking down. And if you just talk, lawyers are average people, normal people. Occasionally you'll find one that may have that aristocracy to them. But as a general rule, most lawyers are down to earth people.
Absolutely. As are you. And Lawrence is the first one up to talk.
Let's hear from Lawrence.
Lawrence, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Hi, go ahead. What's your question tonight?
Yes, sir. A couple of years ago, we had a bunch of little guns that I had belonged to my nephew, but I also had one that was a little target pistol that my wife, she kind of inherited, and he sold it. Is there a statute of limitation on theft or guns and things like that?
There's always going to be statute of limitations that apply. There's several laws that kick in when you start talking about selling a firearm. It goes under federal firearms statutes, and it gets down to, did this gentleman have the authority to sell that gun?
No, he did not.
Well, and if you maintain he did not, then you certainly can go to the district attorney, and it doesn't cost you anything to go and talk to them. They may refer you to a detective, and even if you didn't get the gun back, they may prosecute, and you get restitution for the value of the gun. But the message is loud and clear. You can't sell people's property without facing consequences.
Okay, thank you very kindly.
Thank you.
Lawrence, thank you. We appreciate it. 737+ is the phone number you'd like to call him. We've got a couple of open lines. Betty is next. Hey, Betty.
Hey.
Hi.
Hi, welcome.
Thank you. I have a question. My son has been in special education in Metro Public Schools for several years, and an incident expired where his rights was violated because they did not follow protocol in, what they did. And my question is, what type of lawyer would I need to speak to about it? And is this even something that I could take to a lawyer to handle for me?
Okay, absolutely. And there's several lawyers that handle only school kind of litigation. And you can call the Tennessee Bar Association. You can ask for a referral, and they can look up specifically and see what lawyers actually handle those kinds of cases. It also gets down to a violation of the civil rights. Juveniles have civil rights, and parents, there's a host of things that could follow in, but it goes back to that old saying, the squeaky door gets the oil. And so many parents say, I don't want to take the time to try to do this, leave it alone. But I always encourage, if a child doesn't have an advocate, then you've got to be that to step up to protect their rights. And we have state laws, we have school policies, and so you'll have to determine that from there.
Right. Betty, thank you for the phone call. Let's go to Rosetta next. Hi, Rosetta.
Hello.
Welcome to Open Line.
Okay. The question I have is, when I die, can I make a will and have it notarized? And the reason why I'm asking that, because the day I heard on news there was two sisters. The mother died, and I think they left them the power of attorney as well as a notarized document saying that she was leaving everything to them. But they can't get into her apartment because the place where she rents at, they won't let them get in there to get anything. So
Okay.
I want to know, can I legally use a notarized statement to leave all my belongings to my son?
Okay. In Tennessee, we have what's known as a holographic will. Under Tennessee law presently, you can sit down and write out, it must be in that person's handwriting, and it must be signed by them. It gets into some questions. Was that signature worthy of sound mind? But as a general rule, yes, you can. This lawyer doesn't recommend that. I always recommend, it's relatively inexpensive, go to a lawyer and let them do a will. Have it properly executed with the correct witnesses. They know how to do it, and it's just a safer way. We have will contests from time to time, and it gets into dispute. Was this real will done voluntarily? Was there undue pressure? Was there undue influence? A host of things. And so what I like to say to people, if they say, well, it was already in the will and it's in black and white, never say it's open and shut, black and white. But the assistance of a lawyer, I push you and encourage you. Now, one other statement that you raised, if there was a power of attorney and it's notarized, when that person passes away, they pass away with the right for that power of attorney to work. So it's only good as long as they are living.
Right. Okay, great questions so far. Rosetta, thank you. We've got packed lines, everybody. We appreciate you calling
Full
in.
house right
Full house right now. Be patient. We're going to do a little business here, a couple of minutes. We'll be right back and get right to your phone calls here on Open Line. Stay with us.